Hello everyone, welcome to JC eConnect. So in this we'll study about the different joints of different structural connections. So here we'll be having different structural members in the prefabricated system. So how exactly we are going to join those things in the construction process. So as we all know that in the prefabricated system there are different structural members are there, such as column, footing, beam, and then other structural members like slab, right? So here we need to join these elements in a such a way that in a particular sequence, for example, footing to column member to footing, and then column to beams, and then again beams to in some cases slabs, and then in some cases the joints of arch structures will be there, and in other cases like the joints of post tensionary structures and joining of precast monolithic reinforced concrete structures. So like that, the various connections we can see from one element to the another structural elements. So in that first one, that is joining of two column, joining of column to footing. Minute. The joints of different structural connections. So in that, jointing of column to footing, joining of column to beams on top of the column, again the same thing, that is joining of column to the beam at intermediates, in between the column sections the beam will come and join. So in other case, on exactly on top of that column the beam is going to be rest, and there we can provide the connections. And next, joining of one beam to another beam, joining of the forming of joints of arch structures, and then joining of joints of post tension structures, and then the precast monolithic reinforced concrete structures too. In that first one, that is joining of column to footing. So basically it is the starting stage of the construction. So after the foundation part, footing will be there, and to that footing we are going to provide the one more structural member, that is column. So here we need to study about how exactly they are going to provide the jointing system from column to footing. So here in the diagram you can see this is cast in situ foundation, means usually the foundation of the prefabricated process will be constructed in the construction site itself, whereas the other structural elements are brought from the construction factory to the required site. So here you can see, if it is a steel structures, then you can provide the dry packs here, and then screwed anchor so that it can be tightened with those plates, or cast in plate for connections, and then this precast wall panel. So like that it is going to be constructing from column to footing. And here they have given the shim, that is a mediator plate between column to footing. So here shim plate is nothing but it is commonly used in installation of precast units, a shim plates that allows for the fine adjustment of the levels in the sense, so we have provided certain joints for the certain members, so within that particular space only it should come and rest. So then only it can provide the proper bonding between one element to the another one element. So if a minor tolerance part got occurred, so that time it is difficult to adjust with those dimensions in the construction site, so that later it may feel difficulties to alter those members, and again it is uneconomical in the construction budget. And later, so these shims, they have the intermediate plates from one element to the another one element. So in this figure you can see how exactly they have connected the column to the footing part. So here you can see the precast wall panels, or else the first part of the column, at the front elevations, it acts as the column here. That column, it is connected to the foundation now, so by using the different connecting members, right? So here you can see the dry packs, right? So this dry packs, it is a mediator between foundation to the column, and to that dry packs they have even given this screwed anchor so that it holds properly without any disturbance in its structure. And here even they have used shims pads, the shim pads, that is between one member to the other member, just to separate out those members and to level that one at a particular place, right? So this is how they have connected column to the foundation. So we'll watch a small video so that how exactly they are going to provide the jointing process from column to foundation. So that is basically for steel structure. We'll watch that video now. So this is initial part of the foundation. So how exactly they are going to provide this? So this is by using the bolt connection. So this is connection of footing to column. So they have given the, so here the previous part they have given the bolted connection, and then they have poured the concrete. So that concrete, including the reinforcements, it have been provided certain joints, that is joint elements, by using the anchors. So after hardening of this concrete, they have removed the formwork, and then so for this particular joints, this column will come and attach now. So this is the column. So after the erection process, they are going to fix that one for these joints, and then they are going to tighten that. So the member what they have placed there, so that is the additional member, just to lift up this particular member, so that without any disturbance, so easily we can place that one at the required location. So that additional members, it maintains the balance of that member, so that during the erection part we don't face any such problems. So later again we can fill that one by using concrete or other grades of the mortars, so that the precast members have been placed by using the bolted connections. Now it is, you can see, this is the joining of column to foundation. The same thing you can see here. That is how exactly they are going to provide the jointing of column to footing by using this bolted connection. So moving to the next joint, that is beam to column connections. So here usually the place of beam will get varied, depends upon the applications as well as the structural design. So here you can see the connection between beam to column will takes place in various ways. That is the first diagram, that is for the interior part. So in this interior design, so this the middle section, it is like a column now, whereas from that particular column 4 different beams are going to be pass up, right? So during that case, so this one at the interior part of the residential or any other structural buildings you can see, and this is the exterior joints of the column to beam, so that this exterior part, that one beam is going to be reduced. And here next at the corner place, so at the corner, in the sense you can assume how exactly these beams will get joined to those corner column. And later when the beam location, so the first 3 types, it stands for the beam at the intermediate section of the column. Beam is placed at the intermediate section of the column, whereas for here the beams have been provided at the upper part of the column. So like that, similarly it is for roof interior, roof exterior, and even at the roof corner. Okay, so these are just the general connections between beam to column. And here also you can see this is specially for made for steel structures. The first diagram, that is diagram A here, so you can refer this. So this diagram, it is beam to beam connections with shop weld cleat. So here you can see they have provided the cleat from beam to column, and then they have provided the bolted connections there. So this is uh, the vertical member, it is a column, whereas for the horizontal member it is beam, and they have provided a connective member that is called as cleat. So it is welded from that cleat is welded to beam as well as the column. Okay, and second diagram, that is at end plate. Okay, the beam to column connection at end plate. So here they have provided the plate as the joining member to column to the beam. And third joint, that is double angle web cleat. So here they have provided the double angle, means at the joining part of this beam to column you can see. So you can see two different web cleats there. So by using that they have connected column to beam. So this is will be very helpful in the where exactly the load, the possibilities of load carrying capacity will be more. So during that case we can be use these types of joints. And last one, that is seating angle. So here they have provided at the upper as well as the bottom part of that column to the beam to the column connection. And now the jointing of column to beam at an intermediate section. So here one more example you can see. So how exactly it looks like in the isolated plan. So here you can see the A connection, that is specially they had given at the corner side. So here this vertical member acts as the column, whereas two horizontal members are going with different directions are acts as the beam there. So the same thing they have elaborated here, that is A connection, right? So how exactly they have given and how they have provided. So within this structure you can see the joint which is made by the above discussed joints, such as shop welded cleat, end plate, double angle web cleat, and even we can provide seating angle also. That is depends upon the total load, how it will get generated in these members. And similarly you can see the joint B here. So you can see the three different columns at this part, right, for one column. The same thing they have elaborated here, that is joint B, right? So here you can see the module joints B, how exactly they have placed these joints. Similarly for C here, right? So here four beams have been passed through one single column, right? So like that they have given the different connections between this column to beam. So in the concrete structures, how exactly they can provide this beam to column connection. So this diagram is very important. So they have provided the different connections here. So this one is like they already placed the beam here. So they have elaborated the reinforcements, how exactly they have provided. So this is the figure shows the reinforcement of a beam. So you can see the pre-stressed tendons within this structure, so that whatever the load will comes from top, so easily it can sustain by using these tendons. And even you can see the stirrups here, right? And this one it have been connected by using the weld plate cast into a beam, right? So this weld plate, what you can see here, so this one it has been connected from column to beam connection, right? And here you can see the different hooks just to erect this column. And here you can see the bearing pads, right? So this bearing pads, it's like just to lay down that particular structural element on one member, so that any additional stresses and all, it is going to be taken before releasing that one to the next member, right? So you can see how exactly they are going to connect the beams to columns. So this diagram, it shows the column reinforcements here, right? So in this case they have provided the weld plates, right? So this weld plates, it is going to be useful to connect to the next member of the beam. So this is one more connection, that is beam to column connection here. Just by taking some certain dimensions, I mean the example dimensions, they have created this diagram, and you can see how exactly they have provided the reinforcements within this, right? Just we need to study about the joints, just concentrate on that. And next one is column to column connections. So here this column to column connections, it will comes at every floor levels, because usually the monolithic structures what we are going to design in the conventional buildings. So in that conventional buildings, it's like what we are going to provide the additional steel bars, and then we are tying up with the next bars, right? So but here it's not possible like that, because we are joining one column to the other column, right? So we need to take care a lot about at the joint part, right? So here you can see in the first diagram how exactly they have shown the reinforcement of first column as well as the second column, right? So this is the before assembly part, and they have given the reinforcement details here. So this is a top column and this is the bottom column. So here you can see the bolted connections at the top, right? 1 minute. So here you can see the bolted connections, right? And similarly this one, it is going to be connecting with this, right? And here also it is same. So this holes, it is connecting to these members, okay? And after providing these reinforcements, that is connections and all, so this is filled by the concrete. You can see the concrete here. So after assembly of one column to the other column, by using these plates and even by using the shim pads, the sections will come in this way. And then the third one is whatever the empty space you can see here at the joint part, so it can be filled by using the grouting materials. So here you can see the same part. 1 minute. You can see the same part in this diagram, right? So the entire joints is dry packed with a grout after the alignment. So after the proper alignment, we need to place the grouting materials at the joint part, such that joints, it should not be disturbed in a further way. So this grouting part, it can be done by using the adhesive material such as cementitious material in the form of paste. And next, this is slab to beam connection. So as we all know that in the previous part we have studied about the hollow core slabs. So this slabs, it is going to be connect with the beams, right? So during that case, if they have used the hollow core slab here, right? So within this, a joist member will come to support this flooring members, or else if sufficient width is there to bear this entire load by the beam, so no joists are required, okay? And similarly, so after placing the slabs at the beam part, so whatever the gap will get retained, that one it can be filled by the grouting materials here. So you can see in the diagram, correct? And here also the connections of column to beam they have given, it is as discussed in the previous class. And here also the bearing pad will be there, so that application of that bearing pad will be, it is going to take certain load from the other structural members before releasing that one to the Next, members. This is slab to beam connection, and then this is forming of joints of arched structures. So this arched structures and all usually it will comes in a different sections. So here in the first diagram you can see two different prefabricated members are joining at a certain point here, right? So here number of joints only one. So in this part you can see the reinforcements, right? So this one they have provided at both the structural element. So by checking the alignments they are going to place this two half arches, and then that one it can be filled, the sealed by the additional beam here, right? So this beam is again made up of the concrete, right? And here you can see in the under one diagram, here you can see the three different parts of the structural elements in one arch. So that is first break is at here, what you can see at the red mark, and second break is here, right? So during this case the bending bolt, that slipping prevention of arch member. So here they need to provide so they need to provide the bending bolt, that whatever the slipping positions will be there, that one it can be reduced, okay? And here if they are provided with only one joint between two structural member of the arches, so that time it can be filled by this connecting beam. So this connecting beam can be join those two half semi arches such that additional members can join those two members, right? So this is up to the forming joints of arched structures. These are just the additional information about precast concrete structures that consisting of solid walls and hollow core slabs. And this is the single story warehouse that consisting on double T's. So here you can see the double T structure, right, which is supported by the insulated sandwich wall panels, okay? So here you can see the diagram how exactly they have connected prefabricated beam to the column, and even you can see the slab connections here. So in this session we'll studied about the different joints within the different structural members in the construction. Just we'll recall that which are the different connections, the joints in the structural members. That is jointing of column to footing. This question is most asked questions in the question paper, so you need to concentrate more. So that is jointing of column to footing, column to beams. That is again depends upon the exact place of that beam. It again classified as two types, that is columns to beam connection, that is on top of the column, and column to beam connection at intermediate section of the column. And then joining of one beam to other beam, joining of slab to beam, and then forming of joints of arch structures, and then joining of joints of post tensioned structures, and then joining of precast to the monolithic reinforced concrete structure. So they are the different joints between the structural members in precast method. Thank you.